Wellness group. How are you this beautiful Tuesday afternoon, or at least it is in my neck of the woods? We finally have some sunshine and it's not raining today, so I'm grateful for that. All right, so we are finishing up our series. Hold on, I got all these things popping up on my screen. Okay, we're finishing up on our series of detox for the month of February. So I did a video. The first week was on detoxing physically, nutritionally. Then I did a video on friendship detox. I'm trying to think what else there was. Friendship detox, or a life reset, how to just reset your life. And today we're just going to elaborate a little bit more on that with talking about how to start over in life. So, and it doesn't matter how old or young that you are, we all have to start over at different points in our life. Whether you lose a loved one, whether you go through an injury or an illness, you might discover, my gosh, if a partner cheated on you, um, your career might just like unravel, or because of 2020, maybe you just got laid off unexpectedly, an unexpected move. Anything can happen, that can put your life, at a standstill. You're just like shocked because you just did not expect it. And it doesn't matter, again, like I said, how old or how young you are, things happen to us when we least expect it. Crappy things happen to good people, right? Good relationships break up, there's anxiety, there's depression, but enough of the bad stuff. When the dust settles, I want you to know that there's hope, that starting over is not a bad thing. Like, I know a lot of us just don't like change. Change is scary, but change is the only constant that we do have in our life. And starting over can be refreshing. You come out on the other side like a brand new, better version of yourself. And then you're like grateful for the struggles that you went through. So it's okay to start over. It's a natural part of evolving into a smarter, better, and stronger version of yourself, like I said. And nobody should ever make you feel bad for wanting and needing to be, a better, stronger version of yourself. All right, so how to start over and rebuild your life from scratch, so to speak. So I'm going to give you 10-ish steps here. The first, clean up the space that you live in. Now, I know that seems a little bit like, what does that have to do anything? But your clutter around you, your visual clutter that you live in and see in your environment day after day, does affect your mindset. A cluttered environment equals a cluttered mind. Trust me on this. Google it, search it. There are stats, there are studies on this. One of the best ways to do this is just set up your environment for success. What brings you peace? Clearing the space where you spend the most time, of clutter, trash, and chaos. There was a whole organization series, I forget what month, September maybe? October? Anyway, you can go back into the video section of this group and look for, my videos from way back, and they probably have the organization or somewhere in the title. We did a whole monthly series on it. But to start over, you need to create some good daily habits. And if your environment does not support you in this, does not make you feel like, like Zen like, it's going to be a lot harder. So when you clear your space of all this, the result is going to be a calmer, clearer, and more focused mind that's going to help you just move forward with your plan and sticking to it. So that's why that is my foundation. That is my foundation with a lot of the stuff in my course. I talk about the organized, calm home and how that really is a foundational part to whatever you want to do in life. All right, number two, make peace with reality and work with it, not against it. So we often get stuck in life because we're unable or unwilling to accept our reality, and then we stubbornly fight against it, right? We're swimming uphill, we're living in fantasy world, um, dreaming of how we wish things were. And that's where many people just unpack and live for a while, okay? So you need to get real with yourself, no matter how unpleasant it is, and ask yourself, what is the situation now? And how can you work with what is and not what you wish it was? Okay, so don't work against it, work with it. and you can fix and tweak things along the way. 3, reflect on what and where you went wrong. So if it was a relationship that failed, you can go back and try and do the work. Like, look, I think therapy is a great thing, and work on yourself and figure out what went wrong. Could you have done anything else? If it was a job loss, 2020, a lot of it was not due to something we could have proactively done. But if it was a skill set that you did not improve on, or maybe you weren't the best team player at work, or maybe you were the most, you weren't the most optimistic person at work, like, I think those are skills you can work on to improve your performance as an employee in your next job if you're, going to land another job. So there's always ways to make you be highly valuable in the marketplace. So, and that's just a career example, but there's other things too. So if it was an injury, maybe it's because you skipped workouts, and maybe then you had um, a hamstring injury because you weren't working on your flexibility. You get where I'm going with this, right? I'm just trying to give little examples. So once you've taken the time to reflect on what went wrong and find a new way to make it better for the future, that's definitely an important step you don't want to miss. So let me see my notes. I'm looking at my notes. Okay. Reflect and figure out what went wrong. Yes. Okay. And then start to put together a new plan for your success going forward. Number 4, revisit your goals and values. Before you take one step forward on your new path, you're going to need to make sure your foundation is solid. Now, referring back to foundational principle number 1, I just said making sure your home environment is not chaotic. You don't want to get up and just look at, I don't know, mounds and mounds of paperwork, or just dishes in the sink because you were too tired to wash them last night. Taking a little bit of effort, again, to reduce that chaos, that's part of your foundation work. Now go through your foundation work. We did all last month, we talked about vision. Okay, that's part of foundational work too. What do you want? Now that you're at a juncture in your life where you can start over, what do you really want? Are you doing what you really want in a vision for your life, or are you following what society says you should do and just checking off all the boxes there but not being really fulfilled? So that's what I mean by foundational work. So run through the questions. Where do I want to live? What do I want my home life to look like and feel like? What relationships do I want to have? What kind of friends do I want in my life? Where do your, does everything align with your values? What happens if you find yourself being tempted to stray away from this? Like, you just need accountability to kind of pull you back in and stay on the path that you want to achieve your goals. 5, decide on what you want to do next. So picking one path doesn't mean entirely cutting yourself off from all others. You can always course correct. Nothing is written in stone. You can choose a different path at any point. So do not be afraid to just decide, because you can always change. Like I said, course correct all the time. Like, there are things I wanted that I swore, like, I thought I wanted them as early as maybe 6 months ago, and I've realized now, after doing some inner work and soul searching, like, that's not really what I wanted. That stuff I thought I wanted because I was like up for the challenge, and yeah, if they could do it, I can do it. But again, it just didn't align with how I want my life to be going forward. So again, pick a path. It's not written in stone. You can always course correct. Number 6, work up the courage to do it. It's okay to feel terrified doing something new. It's uncharted territory. Like I said, change is scary. We haven't traveled that road before. It would be really weird if you weren't a bit scared. But know that this is the point that when you start putting one foot in front of the other, regardless of how you feel, um, that it's just the thing to do, that you just can't stay stuck. You just can't, right? What are your options? Stay stuck or just go on this uncharted path? So it's time to get moving despite the paralyzing fear that can come and the soul crushing doubt. Just realize that that's normal and you have to push through anyway. Number 7, Identify the obstacles standing in your way. Being consistent with new habits will give you the results that you're after and keep you inspired to keep going forward. And then you'll probably hit a wall and you'll be stuck again. Okay, but we have to constantly push forward and figure it out. It happens, it's going to happen. You're going to adapt. Say you started a new workout routine. Your body will adapt to that workout routine and you're going to have to change it up again anyway. Your daily routine will eventually feel mundane and boring. Change it up, right? Diagnose the problem, regroup, and bring out maybe your closest friends to help you get through that wall. Figure out your priorities and figure out a way to go around the things that are standing in your way. Number 8, design a plan to eliminate these obstacles. So once you know what's blocking your progress, your next step will be to make another crucial decision. What can you do to get that obstacle out of your way? It could be adding something to your life or subtracting something to your life. It doesn't always have to mean adding, it could be taking something off your plate. And if you go back to the friendship detox video from maybe 2 weeks ago, a lot of times that could be eliminating people from your life. And I don't mean that to sound cold, but go back and listen to that video and you'll know what I'm really talking about. It can mean the tiniest tweak to your diet, maybe just eliminating sugar or eliminating just plain white carbs that just don't serve you. It could be adding in more nutritious food to help you feel more energized and alive and ready to take on the world. It can mean changing your thoughts, how to talk to yourself. There was another series at one point we did where we talked about eliminating negative thoughts. And I'm going to say stepping on ants. Okay, so automatic negative thoughts, ANT, the acronym ANTS, automatic negative thoughts. We all have them, myself included. But once you learn how to recognize those negative thoughts and you're like, whoop, take captive of that, throw it out, that doesn't serve me, replace it with something good. Okay, your limiting beliefs is going to be a lid on your life. Okay, so you need to recognize that stuff. How you talk to yourself is probably not how you would ever allow anybody else to talk to a loved one. Like you would step right in and go, wait a minute, back off. But yet we do it to ourselves. I'm not saying this is all easy, but I'm telling you, you're going to be glad once you start doing this work. Number 9, overcome your fear of being wrong. Nobody wants to be wrong. Sometimes we just dig in our heels, right? And we're like, this is our stance, and we're just like, nobody can convince us. But once you've taken a few wrong turns and you get up, you just like burnt out. You know, you're afraid to make mistakes. I get it, um, but you're going to be wrong, okay? And you're going to be wrong often. And just be, I guess, big enough to admit that and take that different path. Mistakes are never going to stop coming or happening. If anything, they're going to creep up on you more frequently. In fact, if you're trying new things and you're finally stepping out into big, scary goals, you're probably going to fail on a lot of things, but that's normal as long as you fail forward, right? Fail forward, you keep going, you pick yourself up. Okay, so it's just data you're taking in, right? Oh, like if I do this, this will happen. So mistakes are good if you learn from them. Don't beat yourself up over them. With or without the fear, whether you give into it or not, these mistakes are going to happen. So wouldn't you rather go for what you want, despite the possibility of you being wrong and having to course correct? Number 10, finally, and I feel like I've said this a bajillion times, get a mentor, get an accountability partner, get somebody to help you do this work or to keep you on track. When you're trying to rebuild your life and start over in life, whether it's something minor or, something really major, having that friend, that mentor, if you don't have one, there's, you know, there's groups, there's accountability groups. Gosh, you guys are in a group right now. I'm talking to you. Use one of us to help support you on your new journey. You need some help in the form of guidance from somebody who's hopefully done it before. This person could have achieved the goal that you have your sights on and reinvented themselves successfully, or they just have the qualities you're working towards and you just want to rely on them for advice every once in a while. And no, this mentor does not have to be somebody you even personally know. You can no, you can find this person on the internet. Okay. I have mentors that I know from my online life that I have not crossed paths with physically in real day to day life. So, what matters most is just watching what they do, finding what inspires you. Now, I will say that's great to watch them from afar, but I still think you need a group, you need a one on one person that you can text in a pinch, or that you can pick up the phone, or that you can post in a group and ask for help. I think your greatest investment will be into yourself. Your personal development is the greatest investment you will ever make into your life. Those are skills that will pay you back tenfold. Um, you will never lose when you invest into yourself. It's not like when you invest in the stock market, right? And it could go up or down. When you invest into yourself and you pay somebody, whether it be a life coach or a therapist or a course or whatever it is, when you invest into yourself, you will be highly, highly successful once you start working on yourself harder than anything else in your life. So that is it, my friends. That is your Tuesday video. Next month starts our new series in March. What is our new series? Oh, raising your vibration and how to be happier and less negative, right? So I feel like it all ties in together. So, all right, thank you guys for listening, and I will see you next week. Bye.